I am your host, Debbie, here to help you get in the know about Waco. This week on the No Waco podcast, we have Caitlin from Grae Apparel, and she has her own clothing line, Sloppy Seconds. Introduce yourself.
All right, hi, my name's Caitlin. As she said, that I am the manager of Grae Apparel. I also have my own clothing line, Sloppy Seconds. I manage Grae Apparel, and so I don't own it, but I do own Sloppy Seconds.
That's super awesome. And so what brought you to Waco, and what brought you into doing what you do now?
So I am, not a native Wacoan, but I came to Waco about 8 or 9 years ago now for school at Baylor. Didn't finish, but I was going to school for fashion, and so that's clearly how I ended up here. I started at Grae Apparel about 6 years ago, and just, worked my way up from there.
That's super awesome. And where is Grae Apparel located currently?
It's in Spice Village, downtown. We're one of the biggest shops in there. Last I checked, we were about 3,000 square feet, so we're a good amount of Spice. When you go up the stairs and you turn left, we've got a giant neon sign. You can't miss us.
That's super awesome. And how long have you guys been at Spice?
So they actually started in 2008 under the name Western Legacy, selling Western home decor, which is so different, but I think it's just such a fun fact. The owners are Leben and Brittany, and they are cousins. And it started out, like I said, in 2008 with Western Legacy, and then it grew into Grae Apparel in 2010. All of it started out of their college apartment, which I think is kind of fun. And then now, like I said, we're one of the biggest ones in there, so it's just kind of crazy to see how it grew.
And that's super awesome. And what are some of the types of things that you guys carry?
So primarily women's clothing. It's a lot of just kind of more on-trend things that you can't necessarily find, say, at like Walmart or Target or any of your fast fashion kind of stores, but it's a little bit higher quality. We try to focus on things that are well-made and will last you more than 1 or 2 wears, like traditional fast fashion does. And we also have a bunch of gift items, like funny little knickknacks here and there to make you laugh, and like perfect for holidays or just birthdays. And we've downsized a lot from our home decor, so it's primarily women's clothing and just gifts like candles and then gag gifts. So
that's super amazing. And what is some of your new arrivals specifically for the fall season?
Yeah, lots of new arrivals. Things are changing up. We actually took a poll at the beginning of the fall season trying to see what it was people were wanting to see. Because a lot of the times there's things that, like myself as someone who's very into fashion, I love, but like the trends don't quite make it to Waco yet. And so there's like mesh like clothing.
Mesh everything,
yeah.
Yes.
I have been on board it for like the past 5 years, and I've been trying to make it happen every year. And just now, I think people are starting to finally become okay with it. We had one like mesh piece that sold out super fast. So maybe I'm finally getting my wish. I don't know. But a lot of the things that we have right now are just kind of cozy sweaters, since there's not a whole lot of events that are probably going to be happening this year. So it's a lot of just like oversized sweaters, a lot of lounge wear, matching coordinating sets, because monochrome outfits is like a huge thing, especially monochrome brown. It's like head to toe brown is just a giant fall trend.
Classy.
Yeah, I think it looks kind of cool. And so we've gotten a lot of lounge sets in like that are good for working around the home, but also like so you feel kind of cute and coordinated, not like you're just in your pajamas. So we've got a lot of that, lots of things with drawstrings on the sleeves, on the like cinched up on the waist. Those are all really big right now. And colored leather too. Lots of colored leather skirts, colored leather jackets. I've got like pink, blues, whites, all sorts of things, rust colors. Really cool stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw you guys had some like velvety suede skirts and velvety suede. How do you feel about the suede movement?
Oh, I mean, I feel like that's always been a staple for us. Every fall, we just kind of have some sort of, we typically try to go more towards faux, just for us, because like all 3 of us are vegetarian, the owners and I. So we try to like, steer towards non-animal, like actual leather and stuff. if we can. But yeah, we always have some sort of suede something. It's typically in skirts, and we've had like suede pants before, which are kind of fun. That's a little bit more daring. But there are people in Waco who do appreciate the fact that we have a little bit trendier pieces that are not for just like your tourist, stuff like that.
Yeah, and besides mesh, what are some more things you would like to see in Waco?
Ooh, lots of stuff. I'm personally a giant proponent for like maximalism and just like bold prints and mixing crazy prints like that. So I always gravitate towards just really loud pieces that are probably that like your normal person's not gonna like wear. But I feel like Waco is getting a little bit better about it, because now we've started to get some things that are a little bit more bold, and people are definitely going for it. But I don't know, it's really that I love mesh, and I want more people to like zebra print. I feel like it's the next animal print that's going to be really big, because cow print's pretty big right now, and of course you've always got snake and cheetah and leopard, and that's been here, I feel like, for a while. But now I feel like it's zebra. I want people to get on board.
I love that. And how do you think, not necessarily specific Grae, but how do you think the fashion community has evolved in Waco?
Oh, it's gotten like eons bigger. In just the 6 years that I've been working for Grae, it's been interesting to see just like not only our own evolution and how we've grown and have like really catered and narrowed down our style, but now there's so many boutiques around us. Not only in Spice has more people like gravitated towards the clothing kind of route instead of home decor and stuff like that, but there's just even behind us and everywhere, like going all down Austin, there's all these boutiques now, which is super neat. It's cool, like, to see that everyone's kind of growing there. Of course, it is more competition for us, but we've held our own, and like I said, we've been here for like 10 plus years, so this is really, I feel like we know what we're doing. But
yeah, and I feel like you guys are very much so a staple, not even just necessarily a staple at Spice, but a staple in the Waco community. And, I've been following you guys for such a long time on Instagram, and I was like, wow, I actually know people. But yeah, and then speaking of pop-ups and boutiques and stuff like that, would you like to talk a little bit about your business?
Yeah, so Sloppy Seconds Vintage, very kitschy name.
Cute.
Love it. Some people love it, some people might hate it, I don't know. So far I've gotten really good reactions, but regardless, you're not going to forget it.
Exactly.
So that's what I like. But Sloppy Seconds, it's definitely more towards the maximalism. It's a lot of really bold, most of my clothing is like 80s kind of stuff. I do have some things gearing from, late 60s, early 70s as well, but primarily the 80s because, that's when all the bold patterns and everything was happening. Lots of big shoulders, stuff like that. I'll be having my first pop-up at the Skellington's Curiosity Market.
Shout out.
Yeah, on the 25th. Love them. They've done a lot of good stuff for Waco, and their podcast has been fun. Been on that, and I know they've been on here too, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
And Mike was on their podcast last week.
Yeah, that's right. I did see that.
This week.
Yeah.
It came out on Wednesday. Check it out.
It did.
Promo, shout out.
But yeah, their podcast's fun, and their little market's cool, and I'm excited to actually finally be a part of market and have my first pop-up experience. So far, everything's been solely online. So it's going to be kind of a whole new world, and yeah, I've done pop-ups for Grae before, but it's always so much work, and now I'm like, oh goodness, it's only me now. So I don't have any other help like I do.
Oh, how the turntables.
Yes, how the turntables. We have quite a few office stuff for sale at Grae.
Love that.
Office. But yeah, that's Sloppy Seconds, Grae Apparel.
And tell me about some of the other things that you said. You said bold prints, but what specifically can we see from you guys?
From you. From me. Okay, I was like, which one? It's lots of French. I love French, so I have a few French pieces. I am personally, you wouldn't guess from today, but I love like Western inspired stuff, so love me a good cowboy fit. And so I've got quite a few, just a little bit kind of, more Western-inspired pieces, so the fringe, and then you're also getting some of, like, the plaids and then studded kind of outfits like that. Lots of just fun tops. And for this market, I'm going to have some really cool bomber jackets, that's not at all cowboy, but it is really cool, lots of fun, mixed media, like lace, but also windbreaker material. I don't know, it's very, very strange, very loud, so...
I'm down for that.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I think when I picked it up, I said, I don't know if I hate this or I love it. I love it.
And how do you feel about the folk punk fall movement that's happening? So flannels, beanies, belts.
That, I mean, to me, maybe it's just because I've always been a little bit towards the kind of alt side that I feel like I've had that kind of style forever. So it's not really new to me. It is kind of interesting to see people taking on that, I don't want to say culture, but like, I mean, it almost was a lifestyle, at least for me. I don't know. But I mean, cozy all the way. It's like such a good, easy look. And then you can look really cool by just like doing nothing. And, you know, you can't beat that.
Yeah, and again, especially with everything going on, kind of cozy and loungewear is kind of where the trend has been going. And again, I know we already talked about some of the things that you like to see, but once Corona's over, hopefully, what would you like to do in the future?
With
just in your life,
in my life, with Grae.
And with Corona permitting, will let us do things.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I know Grae loves doing pop-ups, and it's been so long since we've been able to do one and get into things like that, because it's fun to go, like, actually take our product elsewhere and stuff. We typically travel twice a year to go to market, and we didn't get to this year, which has made just ordering clothing very difficult, because you can't touch and feel and, like, see the actual quality of things. We do, like, most of our reordering online, but so it's been strange to, like, navigate those waters, and I know all three of us are going to be just like thrilled to be able to go back and go to market and be in person and not be like scared, because market is packed always. So I know we're all going to be very, very excited for that, because we get to go to Vegas for it.
Ooh, Vegas!
So Vegas is fun. We get to pop out, like, well, I do. They have their like uniforms that they wear, not uniforms, but you know. But I get to bust out all the fun things that I can't normally wear here in Waco. So that's always a good time for me. And I always try to, like, highlight vintage. I've not gotten the opportunity to do my own vintage yet. I've always done, like, just other vintage brands that because I shop, if I don't shop at Grae, I pretty much only shop vintage. So those are, like, my two go-tos. And so it'll be fun.
Great go-to.
Yeah. I'm very partial to them. So, yeah, I'm excited to just get out and get to wear fun things again. And I don't know, I'm not mad about masks, though, because I've got a whole bunch of cute ones. And so I'm like, even when this is over, maybe I'll just keep wearing them. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, maybe just, like, not when I'm having to walk outside, though, in the heat. It gets a little hard then. But
yeah.
In the store, it's not bad.
And I know you spoke a little bit about fast fashion, and how do you think that's really influenced the clothing industry recently?
It's been, like, hard. I know, because I know we've had issues with production, because in the end, like, while we are still going for higher quality, it is still a fast fashion. And I know so many of our producers and stuff, like, where we get our actual pieces from, they're having trouble just actually getting stuff made, because there's people not being able to work. So many people got laid off that it doesn't matter if it's sourced overseas or here in America, like, people just can't go and actually produce the quantities that are needed. So even things that we do order online, there's been a lot of issues with overselling, and I know we can't be the only ones feeling that, and it's just been so weird. It's been a very, like, unprecedented time, and but it's been interesting, and, well, I can at least say that, you know, I've somehow managed to keep the store here during an actual pandemic, so
that's an achievement all within itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's super amazing, and it sounds like you're doing a lot for the Waco community, and you're clothing the Waco community, and that's super amazing. And Grae is a super amazing boutique with some amazing pieces that are really like one of a kind, and that higher quality that people are looking for nowadays. And then in your own endeavors, you've managed to, step away from that fast fashion lifestyle, and then, just continue that vintage, especially with, the upcoming trends, and continuing that fall lifestyle and that fall whole aesthetic going on. Is there anyone that you want to go ahead and shout out, or anything you want to shout out?
Those are my main two endeavors. So, I also have a podcast on this network.
Shout out.
But it is, it's called What's Your Excuse Podcast. It's started going towards a little bit more spooky geared, so we've got some more.
We got doppelgangers, we got ghosts, we got guns being pulled.
Yeah, I had a gun pulled on me. That was crazy. Don't drive.
Wild stories.
Crazy. Yep. So you can find all that at What's Your Excuse Podcast if that's something that you're into. So.
Of course, and now plug all of Grae's socials and all of your socials.
Yeah, so Grae Apparel, you can find us on Instagram is our main platform where we operate, and that is just Grae, Grae Apparel, and all one word, no uppercase, no nothing like that. And we're also on Facebook. If you just search Grae Apparel, Grae space Apparel, you can find us there. And then we do have a website, which is just graeapparel.com, spelled the same way. There's not much product listed on there, but you can always find our store hours, stuff like that, and just see kind of more history and stuff like kind of behind the scenes there. And then Sloppy Seconds is mine.
The royal we.
Yeah. Again, primarily on Instagram. Actually, there's no other thing. I do sell on Depop, but both of those are at Sloppy Seconds, like 2NDS. Vintage, and so you can find that. Instagram has a link to the Depop, and then Depop also has my Instagram link, so if you search me there, either way you'll find me.
Alright, awesome. And is there any clothing word that you want to say? Did you get it? I said clothing word?
I was like, did I miss here? That's clever. I don't know. Support local Waco businesses. It's especially today, it's huge with Amazon Prime Day and stuff. I just can't stress enough, especially in these crazy times, just supporting the people around you and helping these, anywhere from, 10 to 12-year-old dreams to fresh ones that are, brand new. For me, it's been incredible to see just the sheer amount of support that we've gotten thus far, but I can't stress enough to just shop local. It really means the world to, actual people who are here, and every single purchase makes us do a happy dance. So
that's super awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on,
and
thank you so much again for influencing the Waco community.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for tuning into this week's podcast. This is your host, Debbie, signing off. Now that you know, go. Just go, Waco.
This has been Rogue Media Network Podcast.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mike.
And we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros, Foes, Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about
Welcome to One Star Rewind, a new podcast about those dreaded one-star reviews that every business owner hates to receive, but yet every customer loves to read. During this podcast, we will peel back that one-star review to better understand how it happened, when it happened, and what the business owner is doing after receiving that one-star review. This podcast will be about love, hate, and laughter. On One Star Rewind, we will meet with real business owners who will tell their stories and how they do rely on reviews for their business. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or download us at roguemedianetwork.com. Please subscribe, but only rate and review for not a one-star review. Join us each time for a new review and a new story.